Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Welcome back to Fusion Mobile e-learning. My name is Michael Okoli Peter and I am taking geography. This is another important topic that any SS3 student that is preparing to write WAEC, NECO or any external exam that involve geography should know. But under this topic is graphical representation of statistical data. You know, if you are offering economics, if you are doing mathematics, if you are doing commerce, and even like accounting, there are some of the topics that we are going to treat. They are there. Because of that, I'm going to leave out some of the statistical representation like bar charts, like pie charts, like line graph. These are the things that we can learn from mathematics, accounting, commerce, or even statistics. The one that concerns geography and most of the subject that I mentioned may not treat is what I'm going to handle under this topic. We are going to look at number one. We look at number one, the dot map. Dot map. Dot map. Then number two, we are going to look at the Choropleth. Choropleth map. We say that we are using graphical representation of statistical data to represent some variables on the map. And you know, in geography there are some data that we collate and collect. For us to interpret this data, we can represent them in a diagrammatic form. So one of the way of representing, you know, information in a statistical form is what we call dot map. So dot map refers to, as I write on the board here, a diagrammatic representation of a large volume of data by means of what? Dots. What are the steps, method of construction? Number one, give it a clear title. Give your construction a clear title. Anytime you are using, you can adopt any method, but if you want to, you know, perform any statistical operation using dot map, the first thing you must do, you must give it a clear title. Number two, choose a suitable scale, as we are going to see. Number three, use the scale to divide the values given. And draw the dot map, represent each unit with a specified numbers of dots. With a specified numbers of dots. We are going to use one example. We are going to use one example. We are going to use this example to, you know, solve this question. Example 1. The table below shows Ghana's export of some commodities to United States of America. Represent the figure by dot map. What are this is commodities and this is quantities in tons. Cocoa, we have 80,000. Granite, we have 60,000. Rubber, we have 110,000. Cotton, we have 30,000. Now these are the commodities that were exported to United States of America, and the question says that you should use this to represent dot map. Use this to represent dot map. We are going to use some example now. See how we can solve this using dot map. Okay, now to solve this, you have to follow the step. Step 1 is to what? Is to choose your suitable what? Suitable scale. You choose your suitable scale. In this case, we are going to use 1 dot represents 10,000. 1 dot represent 10,000. Then this is our scale. 1 dot represent 10,000. The next step to take is that you are going to divide each of these by what? By 10,000 to give you the number of points. You are going to divide this by 10,000 to give you the number of points. Let's start from 80,000. 80,000 divide by 10,000. This. 8 divided by 1 is equals to 8. So you are going to have how many dots in 80,000? You are going to have 8 dots. Then that is for cocoa. You come to granite. We have solved that of cocoa. That is 80,000 over 10,000 will give you how many dots? 8 dots. Now let's go to granite. Granite, we have 60,000 tons. It will now be 60,000 divided by what? Divided by 10,000. What will it give you? It will give you what? 6 dots. Then we are finished with cocoa. We are finished with granite. Then let's come to rubber. Rubber is how many tons? 110,000 over what? Over 10,000. I hope you are following what I'm doing. So what do? This cancel this cancel this. 11 over 1, that is what? 11 what? Dots. Then finally you come to what? You come to cotton. Cotton is what? Cotton is 30,000. It will now be 30,000 over what? Over 10,000. 30,000 over 10,000. This will give you what? This will cancel this, cancel this, cancel this, cancel this. It will give you 3 dots. Now you have solved this. 80,000 give you 8 dots. That is for cocoa. For granite, give you 6 dots. Rubber give you 11 dots. Then cotton gives you 3 dots. With this number of dots, you can use it to represent, the dot in the given, map. In a given map. Map. We have solved them and we have gotten the numbers of dots. The next step to do is to draw a relatively convenient map like this. And you have the first one is cocoa. It has how many dots? 8 dots. This is cocoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is cocoa. Then the second one, that is rubber, has granite, has how many dots? 6. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the third one, which is rubber, has 11 dots. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then the final one is number 4. That is cotton. Has how many dots? 3. 1, 2, 3. Then you bring this the key down. Number 1, is what? Cocoa. That is number 1 here. Number 1, cocoa. Number 2, granite. This is number 2. Number 3, rubber. This is number 3. Then number 3 is a rubber. This is number 3. Number 4 is cotton. This is number 4. Now this is how we represent or use dot in representing a statistical data. Number 2 is Choropleth map. The first one was dot map. We see what it looks like and how to apply it in solving some statistical problem in geography. I believe it is very simple. Even at home you can practice it. Take example and practice 1 or 2. You just look at the number given, the value given, then choose your word, choose your scale, and divide the value by the scale, and it will give you the number of the dots. The map that I drew on the board, you can use your own shape to draw your map. It doesn't matter, but remember that you must give it a clear title. Now here we have a Choropleth map. We said it is a diagrammatic representation of figures or data in form of density with different types of shading. You know, the first one, the dot map, we use dot, but this one we are going to use a shade. Now, what are the method of constructing? The first thing you must know, you must give it a clear title, and this is very important, very, very important. You know, you are as an SS3 student, whenever you are writing exam, test, assignment, you should write with maturity. For instance, you are drawing a map of Nigeria or the map of Africa. You must give it a clear title. Are you drawing the map of Africa showing the relief? Are you drawing the map of Nigeria showing the drainage? Are you drawing the map of West Africa showing the climate? Or whatsoever that involve diagram, please and please give it a title, not only in statistical method. Anything that involve diagram in geography, please give it a title. It shows your maturity and how you are properly grounded and tutored in geography. Now let's look at the method of construction once again. Number 1, give it a clear title. This time is a Choropleth map showing what? Now number 2, choose a suitable scale. You know, the first one we choose 1 is to what? 10,000, and we use the value to divide 10,000 throughout. That gave us the number of dots that we had. Now use the scale to divide the value given. It's the same process, and group the values of the same range into categories. That is where this one is going to differ a little from that of a dot map. So we are going to have an example now. We use this step to solve that example. So we are going to take this example to look at how we can use Choropleth map to represent a statistical or to solve a statistical problem. Here is an example. The table below shows the population of various towns in Yaba Local Council in 2017. Represent the information by means of Choropleth map. These are towns. We have Ujuelegba, Lawasin, Mushin, and Church Junction. These are the population density: 10,000, 18,000, 16,000, 3,500, 18,200. Remember, we are dealing with population. So the first thing to do is to do what? Is to choose your scale. The scale here we are using 1:2,000. That shows that each of these population, the way we did when we are solving a dot map, you are going to divide it by what? By 2,000. Let's start from the first town. It's 10,000. 10,000 divided by 2,000. Who can give us the answer? Who can give us the answer? Fine. The answer is 5 point what? 5.0. Now you come to the second town. The second town is 18,000. 18,000 divided by 2,000. This go, this, 2 here, 9. The answer is equals to what? 9.0. Then the third village or town, sorry, is 16,000. 16,000 divided by what? By 2,000. This goes, this will give you 8.0. Here we have 3,500. 3,500 divided by 2,000. Who can solve and give us the answer? Who can solve? Nobody to give us.
1.75.
1 equals to 1.75, or you can approximate it to be 1.8. 1.8. Then we have 28,000. 28,200 by 2,000. By 2,000. 14.1. 14.1. So we have solved this. There is one thing I want us to understand before we represent this in a Choropleth map. In your choice of scale, the first thing you should do, look at the figure given. Here the least one is 3,500. If for instance we have 20,000 instead of 3,000, there is no way we would have choose 2,000. Maybe we would have gone for either 8,000, 6,000 as the case may be. So in the choice of your scale, look at the figure given before, look at the least one given before you go for the choice of your scale. Now this is what we solved. This is what it gives us. Now the next thing for you to do is you now choose your scale, so that the first scale we choose was to divide this, and in that I told us that you should take into consideration the figure given. But after you have solved that, you have a problem here. Number one town have 5.0 because you are going to group them. That is the step. If you look at the step very well, you are going to group them into, so for convenience sake, you can divide this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 village into 4 or into 3, so that each of these can fall into either 1 or 2 groups. Let's look at it. This is 1.8. The highest here is 14.1. You can take your scale to be maybe 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to what? To 15. Let me repeat again. Look at here, we have 1.8. So we have the highest is what? 14.1. So you can conveniently group these towns into 3, 1 to 5. Here how many? We have 1.8, we have 5. Therefore within this. We have 6 to 10. How many? We have 9 here, we have 8. They fall within 6 to 10. Then the final one is 11 to 15, and we have 4. So with this you have grouped these these 5 villages into 3 conveniently, so that when you now draw your map, you know the type of shading that you are going to give your map that will not be ambiguous. That is the excess of this type of scale. Even if you have up to 10 villages or 10 towns, you have to embark on this so that you limit the number of your shading. If you limit the number of your shading to a convenient number, it will make your work to be very neat and very admirable. That is why we go for 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15. Now, can you see this is the Choropleth map, and this is how we shade it. Give us 3 shadings out of the 4 or 5 towns that we have. Those from our calculation that falls between 1 to 5, they have this shading. That is this and this. We have 1.8 and we have 5. Then between 6 and 10, they have this shading. Look at it here. Look at it here. This is we have 8 and we have 9. Then between 11 to 15 has only 1. That is 14.1. And that is so. The beauty of Choropleth map is that number 1, it will help you to compress your works, and number 2, it will also make your work to be neat, and also to have a choice of scale that you want to use, so that you can manage a large data. Your data, no matter how large it is, you can manage it using a Choropleth map. So as I said, we have other statistical methods that we can use in representing graphical data in geography, but others we learn them from they are not different from the one we learn in economics when we are talking about pie chart, bar chart, and the one we learn in mathematics. So but these two, they are not too common in other subjects. That is why I take my time to explain the dot map and the Choropleth map. So when you go home, you can pick 1 or 2 examples, follow my the explanation and the step, and practice it and see whether you understand it or not. You can get more examples from textbooks or other sources.